Courtrooms are supposed to be calm, controlled spaces. The judge speaks, the lawyers argue, the jury listens. But what happens when grief and rage become too heavy for silence? What happens when families face the person who took their loved one? Tonight, we're looking at three cases, three young defendants whose crimes shattered families, triggered chaos inside courtrooms, and left behind questions about justice, punishment, and what the law can or cannot heal. On August 2nd, 2019, South Carolina was shaken by the killing of 18-year-old Willie Antoine Fields. His life was just beginning when it was cut short by a 19-year-old named Lindy Lamont Jones. The crime itself wasn't complicated in its facts, but it was devastating in its impact. Witnesses and investigators confirmed that Lindy and his younger brother Jaylyn Devonair Jones were involved in the murder. A young man lost his life, and two others barely out of their teens would soon lose their freedom. In court, Willie's mother, Angela Fields, took the stand. Her voice cracked as she explained that Willie was her only child, the center of her world. Her husband, Willie Clay Fields, tried to hold his grief quietly, but the silence of the courtroom proved too much. He suddenly broke down and lunged toward Lindy, punching him in the head and tackling him to the ground, forcing deputies to intervene and separate them. That moment, raw and uncontrolled, showed the real weight of the crime in a way no written transcript could. The law in South Carolina is clear. When someone intentionally takes another's life, it falls under the state's homicide statutes. Murder, under South Carolina Code 16-3-10, is defined as the killing of any person with malice aforethought, express or implied. It carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 30 years and can extend to life imprisonment. When the defendant is young, the court weighs whether to treat him as a juvenile or as an adult. In Lindy's case, the evidence, age, and severity meant adult charges. The court found Lindy guilty and sentenced him to 35 years in prison. His younger brother Jaylyn, 18 at the time, was charged as an accessory after the fact, with his case remaining pending. The breach was clear. The law had been broken at its core, a life taken with intent. The punishment was heavy but still finite. Unlike the permanent loss the Fields family endured, juvenile crimes test the balance between rehabilitation and retribution.